And I have the time as 7:34, so I will call the public hearing and regular business meeting of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia, Monday, October 11th, 2021 to order. We'll have our invocation by our assistant city manager, Matt Pepper.
Our Father in heaven, we come before thee this day humbly to thank thee for all of our blessings and to ask for thy guidance as we discuss city business this evening, especially for our mayor and council members, that we will be guided by thy Holy Spirit and make decisions that will benefit the residents and citizens of the city of Snellville. And these things we humbly ask for in the name of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Matt. And now we'll have the pledge to the flag led by Kathy Emanuel. Okay, we have nothing under our ceremonial matters. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes of the September 27th, 2021 meetings.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have no invited guests and no committee or department reports, so we'll move to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve tonight's agenda with one amendment. Under new business, adding item C, consideration and action on Snellville Town Center sanitary sewer extension contract.
There is a motion to approve the agenda with adding one item. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have 2 items under our public hearing, and for anyone who just isn't aware, these are both first readings. We're required any kind of ordinance changes to have 2 readings. The first reading is just a presentation of what the item is, and then we will waive that item and place it on our next agenda. So we first have item A, first reading, annexation 21-02, LUP 21-05, and RZ 21-05. Consideration and recommendation on applications by Scenic Point LLC, the applicant, the Lillian Margin Mulder Trust property owner, requesting 1, annexation to the municipal boundary of the city of Snellville, Georgia. 2, to amend the Snellville 2040 Comprehensive Plan future land use map to commercial retail. 3, to amend the official zoning map to BG, which is General Business District. And 4, request for variances from the Unified Development Ordinance for the 8.93 plus or minus site tract located at 1498 Scenic Highway, Snellville, for a mixed retail commercial office subdivision development, tax parcel 5074007. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading on ANX 21-02, LUP 21-05, RZ 21-05, and to place it on the agenda for a second reading and public hearing on October 25th.
There's a motion to waive. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. At our next hearing, we will have, we open this up to public comment, so anyone wishing to speak on this may do so at that next meeting. We have item B, first reading UDO 21-01, consideration and recommendation on amendments to the text of the Unified Development Ordinance for the City of Snellville, Georgia, adopted 10/26/2020 to amend definitions, Article 2 of Chapter 100, General Provisions, Town Center Overlay District, Article 5, and Use Provisions, Article 6 of Chapter 200, Zoning and Land Use. This is the first reading. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading of UDO 21-01 and place it on the agenda of the October 25th meeting for a second reading and a public hearing.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have nothing under our consent agenda and no old business, so we'll move to new business. We have item A, consideration and action on award of bid for contract for the repair of stormwater drainage systems, PW 210825. This is our annual stormwater project list, and there's quite a few projects listed for this contract. Is there a motion?
Motion to award the bid for the contract for the repair of stormwater drainage systems to the Dickerson Group in the amount of $684,475.
Okay, there's a motion to award the bid to Dickerson Group. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any council that like to speak?
We set up our stormwater utility back about a decade ago, and every single year we've replaced more and more and more of the aging infrastructure that runs under our streets, mostly in our older neighborhoods. And these are expenses that are being borne by you, the taxpayers. And one of the things we've done since I got back on council is make sure that our new ordinance does not allow corrugated steel pipe to be run under our streets. So as we move forward and we manage to replace all these older, aging pipes, hopefully we'll be able to start using those funds to doing some of the things that our citizens really want, which is more curb and gutter in our neighborhoods that will actually help control the stormwater in our neighborhoods. But we first have to get through all these lovely older repairs that were dropped in our lap because developmental regulations back in the 70s and early 80s just weren't quite there. Dickerson Group has done great work for us pretty much for the last 10 years. Always seem to come in under budget, and I look forward to them getting these repairs out of the way so we are one step closer to being able to take care of the issues that we really wanted to get to when we set up this utility a decade ago. Thank you for indulging me.
Anyone else? So we have a motion and a second to award the bid. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have item B, another first reading, consideration and action on amendment to Article 2, Noise Control, Division 1 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Snellville, to be consistent with those of Gwinnett County, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading on amendment to Article 2, Noise Control, and to place it on the October 25th agenda for a second reading and public hearing.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. On this, we are making some updates to our noise ordinance. Gretchen Schultz has been one of the council members, a few others, Christy, I think, and Solange, and Dave have been working hard at this one. So this, again, is a first reading. If you're curious about it, you can read that online or in our agenda packet and see what's being proposed here. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. It is 6 in favor and none opposed. And now we have new item C, consideration and action of awarding a Snellville Town Center sanitary sanitary, I just give up. Somebody else say it. Sewer extension contract. Mr. Sanders, would you like to talk about this since I'm falling all over myself
I'd be
here?
glad to talk about the extension. Madam Mayor and Council, I ask your consideration of awarding a contract in the amount of $81,030 to the Dickerson Group for a sanitary sewer extension from the final manhole in the current project along Eastwood Drive that would take the sewer to the northwest corner of the Phase 2 property for Town Center development. This is a commitment that we made in the Master Development Agreement, and this completes our sanitary sewer commitment according to that agreement, and allows for the development of Phase 2. First of all, the sale, and then the development of Phase 2, which will greatly add to the community and our tax digest. This is it's a section that is basically, we're talking about 280 feet of sanitary sewer line on our existing property. No right-of-way is needed. And the reason why this is an important action tonight is that we just, the faster that we can award and Dickerson can order their supplies and their needed materials to do this, they can overcome some of the supply line shortages and delays that everybody has seen. And so that's why I'm bringing this forward really ahead of the normal schedule. But we had an estimate from our engineer of $85,000. This is the one quote. We solicited other numbers. This is the one quote that we received back. They're already on site. I think that's what everybody figured. And it's almost $4,000 below the engineer's estimate. So I would just ask for your consideration of approval of this contract this evening.
Okay, with that explanation, is there a motion?
Motion to award the Snellville Town Center contract for the sanitary sewer extension to the Dickerson Group, not to exceed the amount of $81,030.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. That is all of our regular business, so we will move on to council reports, and we'll start with Councilmember DeStang.
Good evening, everyone. This Friday, October 15th at 4:30, South Gwinnett High School will hold its homecoming community parade. The parade lineup will take place at Church on Main and will start at Britt Elementary and end at the South Gwinnett High School student parking lot. You will be entertained by the band, the cheerleaders, and over 25 clubs and organizations within the South Gwinnett cluster. There will be free giveaway for kids and food trucks on site. There will also be a tailgate party starting at 5 in the South Gwinnett student parking lot and practice field. The game will be played between South Gwinnett High School and Peachtree Ridge, and there will be a halftime presentation of the court, which starts at 7. Just a little reminder that the municipal voting for our city starts on October 12th and ends on October 29th. Early voting will be Monday through Friday, and Saturday, October 16th, and Saturday, October 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Snellville City Hall in the community room, which is located on the first floor. And the general election will, of course, be November 2nd from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's all I have for my council report. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Have a wonderful remainder of the week. Be kind to each other and always do the right thing, even when you think no one is watching. Good night and stay safe, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Solange. Councilmember Warner?
This last weekend, I had the honor and joy of joining our Snellville Police Department in a celebration of Faith and Blue, which is a coming together of local church leaders and our police department. There were face painting booths, there was food available, there were lots of bouncies for the kids that were all free, not the food, but the bouncies were. I really had a great time. It was wonderful seeing our officers there and seeing the support that they got from the citizens. Hopefully next year we will be able to advertise it better and have everybody show up, because the officers really can use our support every day, because every day they support us. That being said, this weekend on Saturday, in addition to the fabulous homecoming celebration that's taking place on Friday night, we have the Snellville Fall Festival, which will take place out on the town green. It'll start at noon and run till 6, and there will be activities for the whole family all day long. There again will be bouncies and various entertainment things to tire out the kids. You can get an all-day activity band for $10 for the day. There's pumpkin decorating activity that you can have a competition to see who can make the most beautiful pumpkin. There's even axe throwing this year for 12 years and older. So Dave will not be able to throw an axe. There will also be costume contests, both for humans and for dogs. If you want to have your dog in the contest for the costume, I'm going to be there. I want to see that. You need to be there by 2:30. The contest will be held at 3. And for those of y'all who've been wondering, yes, there is the Scarecrow contest going on. If you go to experiencesnellville.com, you can still vote for your favorite scarecrows, and you can even bid to buy your favorite scarecrow. And I have a good feeling I know who's going to end up with a number of them, because she did last year. Anyway, that is it. As Ms. Stang said, there is an election upcoming. Early voting starts tomorrow, runs Monday through Saturday until the final weekend right before Election Day on November 2nd. So our staff has a whole weekend to get rested up for that long, arduous 12-hour voting day and then counting the ballots. I look forward to the results. Y'all have a wonderful evening and a great week. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. And Councilmember Linsky?
Hi, good evening. Snellville Youth Commission, our youth ambassador group, will be meeting this Saturday at 10 a.m. We're putting together a great program for them on building wealth at a very young age, as well as financial literacy. And hopefully as we finish that session, they'll be joining everyone for the Fall Festival out on the green. In addition to the homecoming activities coming up and the Fall Festival, please place October 29th on your calendar, Friday evening at 7:30 p.m., the Battle of Snellville between South Gwinnett High School football and Brookwood. So we're hoping to win that trophy back this year. And thank you and have a great week.
Thank you, Christy. And we'll go to Councilmember Schultz.
I just want to follow up on a little bit of information that Todd shared related to the Fall Festival this Saturday. And I cleared this with Kelly McAloon before I'm going to tell you what I want to say. But all of you know that she is the executive director of Snellville Tourism and Trade, and she is the brains and the workhorse behind all of our events that we have. Not only the Fall Festival, but the Christmas tree lighting, the beach blast, the Veterans Day event, the Memorial Day event, all those events that we all enjoy so much. She is having some real physical problems right now. She is going to be having a hip replacement on October 28th, and in the meantime, she's in a lot of pain, and she is actually in she is actually in a wheelchair right now. It's going to be really hard for her Saturday, and I'm just making an appeal to anybody listening online, really. If you can volunteer for a couple hours to help her out, I know she would be so very appreciative. She needs help with the event setup. She needs help with ticket sales and with cleanup at the end. I've promised her that I will be in the old Ryan's parking lot doing the vendor staging to get the vendors onto the green. But if you can give a couple hours, I know she would be so appreciative, and I feel like for all that she does for us, if we can help her out right now while she's not really able to do what she wants to do. She was telling me Saturday, she said, and she had tears in her eyes when she was saying this. She says, we just aren't going to have the hay bales this year. We're not going to have all the decorations like I want to do. And she got these tears in her eyes. I mean, it means a lot to her. And so any help that anybody's willing to offer on Saturday, I know she would be very, very appreciative. And that's all for tonight.
Thank you, Gretchen. Mayor Pro Tem Emanuel?
Some of you may not be aware, but this past Thursday, District 3 Commissioner Jasper Watkins had a town hall meeting here, and I think we're going to see a lot of improvement in the south side of the county. He's really focusing on improving conditions throughout his District 3, which runs from one end of the county to the other along the eastern side of the county, but he's also interested in working with the city, so I think we'll have a better relationship with the county in terms of getting things done than we've had in a long time. So if you see some things happening, you can thank Commissioner Watkins for that.
Thank you, Dave. And I will not do a mayor's report because I've been stumbling all over everything tonight. So I will open the floor to public comment. If anyone would like to come forward and address us with any concerns, please feel free. Seeing no one rushing to the microphone, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor? That's 6 in favor, none opposed, so we're done. Thank you all for coming out tonight.